The silent sheep. They look harmless. Soft wool, blank eyes, slow steps across green fields. Sheep are often described as symbols of innocence, obedience, and peace. But tonight, forget everything you think you know. Because beneath that quiet exterior is one of the most unsettling animals in the mammal world. An animal that remembers faces for years, senses emotional tension in humans, and moves through the night in ways scientists still cannot fully explain. This is not a horror story. Every fact you are about to hear is real, and once you know it, you will never look at a flock the same way again. Imagine walking past a field at midnight. Hundreds of sheep stand motionless. None are grazing, none are lying down, all of them are staring directly at you. This behavior has been reported across rural regions worldwide. Farmers call it listening posture. Researchers call it unexplained collective vigilance. But witnesses describe something else entirely. They say it feels like being watched by something that understands you. Sheep, it turns out, are not passive animals. They are observers, and in some ways, they may understand more than we want to admit. Most people assume sheep are forgetful, easily led, and mentally simple. Science quietly disagrees. Sheep can recognize and remember up to 50 individual faces for over 2 years. That includes human faces. In controlled experiments, sheep were shown photographs of people who handled them briefly years earlier. Their heart rates changed, their attention sharpened, their stress levels rose. Recognition had occurred, but something stranger followed. When shown photos of people who had frightened them, even accidentally, sheep reacted with elevated cortisol and avoidance behaviors. When shown kind handlers, they relaxed. Sheep were not just recognizing faces, they were recalling emotional history. This means something disturbing. Sheep do not simply exist in the present. They carry memories, emotional ones, and those memories shape their behavior long after the event is over. Now imagine a flock that has witnessed the same environment, the same humans, the same threats. Their memories synchronize, their fear patterns align. What looks like instinct may actually be collective recall. In neuroscience, this is called social memory clustering. It is rare, and sheep demonstrate it naturally. One of the strangest phenomena in animal behavior is something farmers call silent alignment. Entire flocks suddenly stop moving and stand shoulder to shoulder, all facing the same direction. No predator is visible, no sound is heard, no command is given, yet hundreds of animals freeze at once. This is not panic. Panic scatters animals. This is cohesion. Biologists first assumed this was a response to distant sound frequencies or shifting light. But measurements failed to detect anything unusual. No vibrations, no predators, no atmospheric disturbance, and yet the sheep remained motionless, sometimes for minutes at a time. Then came the more unsettling discovery. When one sheep was removed from the flock and isolated during these events, it exhibited elevated stress markers. Heart rate spikes, rapid breathing, vocal distress. It was not afraid of something external. It was afraid of separation from something internal. In other words, the flock itself may be acting as a cognitive system. This leads to a theory that unsettles many researchers. That sheep do not merely follow. They synchronize. Sheep sleep in extremely short bursts, often less than 4 minutes at a time. Their eyes remain partially open. Their muscles stay semi-tense. This is not rest. This is vigilance. But laboratory studies reveal something stranger. When sheep enter REM sleep, the brain patterns resemble not typical mammalian dreaming, but threat simulation cycles. Their neural activity suggests they are rehearsing danger scenarios. Again and again. In humans, this pattern is associated with trauma, but sheep display it universally, even in calm environments. This suggests something chilling. Sheep brains behave as if danger is always imminent, even when none exists. Some neurologists propose that sheep evolved in environments of extreme predation pressure, embedding permanent threat awareness into their neural architecture. Others suggest something else, that sheep operate in a constant low-grade anticipation state, as though responding to signals we cannot perceive. Whatever the cause, sheep do not sleep like peaceful animals. They sleep like sentries. Sheep eyes are rectangular. This allows them nearly 320 degrees of vision without moving their heads. They can see behind themselves. They can see movement at long distances. They can detect predator silhouettes faster than most mammals. But here is the disturbing part. Sheep pupils rotate when they lower or raise their heads, maintaining horizon alignment. This means their perception of the world remains level even when their bodies shift. In practical terms, sheep always know where the horizon is. This adaptation is rare. It is found almost exclusively in prey animals under extreme predation stress. It allows constant situational awareness. It also means sheep rarely lose visual contact with their environment, even when grazing. Some behavioral scientists speculate that sheep experience the world not as individuals, but as continuous spatial fields. Movement, distance, density, proximity. Their brains may prioritize environmental geometry over object recognition, which means when sheep stare at something, they may not be seeing a face. They may be seeing position, threat potential, spatial disruption, and that brings us back to the field at night, the one where the flock stood motionless, watching. In multiple rural reports, people walking past sheep fields late at night describe the same unsettling experience. The sheep stop chewing, stop walking, stop moving entirely, and then, slowly, all heads turn toward the observer. This behavior does not match grazing patterns. It does not match predator response. It does not match herd defense formation. It matches attention. But attention to what? One hypothesis suggests sheep detect subtle changes in electromagnetic fields caused by moving biological organisms. Another proposes micro-sound sensitivity beyond human perception. But neither explains the synchronized turning. Here is what researchers did discover. Sheep can detect and differentiate human gait patterns, the rhythm of footfalls, the weight shift in walking, the vibration signature of movement. In experiments, sheep reacted differently to known caretakers versus unfamiliar walkers, even when blindfolded. This means when a person approaches a field, sheep may recognize not the face, but the way that body moves through space. In effect, sheep may recognize you before you are close enough to see them. And recognition changes behavior. Sheep panic does not look like fear. It looks like silence. Unlike animals that flee or vocalize, sheep compress. They cluster tighter. They reduce movement. Their heart rates spike, but externally they become still. This is known as freeze cohesion. It is rare among mammals and associated with ambush avoidance, not chase avoidance. In other words, sheep evolved not to run from danger, but to become unreadable. And yet, this response can trigger without visible threat. In one study, sheep exposed to subtle changes in airflow frequency exhibited freeze cohesion, despite no predator cues. Their nervous systems reacted as though something unseen was nearby. This has led to speculation about sensory channels sheep may possess that humans do not fully understand. Low-frequency vibration detection, micromagnetic field sensitivity, or environmental pattern recognition beyond conscious perception. But the result is always the same. Stillness, silence, watching. Sheep were among the first animals domesticated by humans. Over 10,000 years ago, they walked beside early civilizations through famine, migration, and environmental collapse. Their biology adapted not only to predators, but to proximity with another species. Ours. This prolonged coexistence created something rare in evolutionary terms. Interspecies emotional attunement. Sheep detect human facial expressions. They mirror stress states. They alter grazing behavior in response to human mood cues. In experiments, sheep exposed to calm humans showed lower cortisol and higher social bonding behaviors. Sheep exposed to anxious humans exhibited heightened vigilance and avoidance, even when the humans never touched them. This suggests sheep are not passive livestock. They are emotional receivers, which raises an unsettling possibility. Sheep may act as emotional mirrors in large environments, absorbing tension, amplifying stress, reflecting fear back into the landscape. And in a flock, these signals compound. Now imagine a place where hundreds of animals rarely enter deep sleep, where emotional signals circulate constantly, where memory, vigilance, and synchrony intersect. That place exists. It is every sheep field. Sheep sleep in shifts. While some rest, others stand watch. Then they rotate. The flock rarely enters full collective unconsciousness. There is almost always awareness present. Biologically, this makes sense. But psychologically, it creates something else. A continuous surveillance environment. Not intentional, not conscious, but emergent. A field that never truly sleeps. When humans walk through such spaces at night, they often report unease. Not fear, not threat, but the sensation of being observed by something that does not blink. This may not be imagination. It may be the result of hundreds of eyes detecting motion, posture, and rhythm, then synchronizing attention toward a single anomaly. Sheep are not predators. They are not aggressive. They are not violent, but they are not empty either. They remember. They synchronize. They sense. They observe. They anticipate. They live in a permanent state of quiet readiness, shaped by thousands of years of survival and 10,000 years of coexistence with humans. Their minds are not simple. They are specialized, tuned to space, movement, emotion, and threat patterns beyond our conscious perception. So when you walk past a field at night, and every sheep turns toward you in silence, the question is not why they are watching. The question is what they already know. Because sheep do not stare at nothing. And whatever they are sensing, they sensed it before you arrived. If you enjoyed uncovering these amazing animal secrets, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to stay updated on all our future videos. Don't forget to click the bell icon, so you'll never miss out on more fascinating stories from the animal kingdom. Thank you for watching, and we can't wait to explore more hidden secrets with you in the next video.